I'm Sajida Chaudhery. I'm here to tell my story for the colourful heritage. I was born in Karachi, Pakistan, and I was born in 1955. I was quite young because when my family left Pakistan, we were very, very young age group at the time, and my primary school education was really here in Scotland. I was happy because I had friends there, and we used to have playground games. I remember that. Sometimes they were, I think the society at the time still perceived us as immigrants, right? So I did have some occasional, we had pupils who would call you name. And if we came home and said to our mother, someone was saying this to me, a Paki or something, she would say, it's okay, it's not our country, and just don't give attention, don't pay attention. It was the sixth year, end of the year, like just before summer, fifth year, sixth year, we'd get together and have a party, and first, second year we'd get together. And there was also dance, right? And we had our PE staff say that particular year you're doing you're doing Scottish country dancing, which you did in your own girls and boys kind of classes. But this particularly we're going to do all together. And it wasn't it wasn't Scottish dancing, it was just like ballroom dancing in those days, right? And we thought, right, okay, so fifth and sixth were brought together in the gym hall. And we were all told, right, you're partnered with this person, you're with this. So you were all suddenly were told to select a boy or a girl and go in your line to get ready for dancing. So you were taught dancing to be ready for the party night. Now that was something I thought, I ain't doing dancing with anyone. And I was a very quiet person, I don't think I was such an overt or bolshy, or I thought, no. And pupils, whichever background, they were just told, go and get a partner. And I know even the Scottish pupils, some of them, our friends, didn't want to, but it was like being told, go and select someone now, right now. And reluctantly some did. And I thought, I just stood there. And he said, why aren't you going, young lady? I said, because I'm not going to dance with anybody, and that's it. And I thought, because for me, it was like all of the cultural thing coming as well in there. When I got married, my in-laws were in Pakistan, really. And my husband said, he'd like to go and visit and see. I was 18 at the time. I'd left school, went to uni, first year, and went to Pakistan, got married, went to Pakistan. When I went there, it was a different environment for me because I hadn't really, even as a teenager, hadn't seen it. It was the first time I saw Pakistan as it was. But the one thing I couldn't make sense at the time was because people there who are very rich, they have they have home help, they have my husband's brother, he had a cook in the house, he had a driver who would take you out, and I was used to just going and make my own cup of tea. So whenever I did in the morning, I would just go to the kitchen and start putting, and the cook would say, no, madam, just leave it. To me, that was a bit cultural shock, so you had to accept those things because I felt lazy there. I felt very lazy, and I thought here I was used to doing my own thing, being independent. So that was a different thing, but it was nice. I actually went to Canada to live there for 6-7 years. We lived there, and my older son was born there. Whenever I heard, sound of the bagpipes or something, I used to feel a lump in my throat. And we had friends there, they were Scottish as well there. And I had a friend who had gone from here, and she loved it. And someone said to me, either you love or you don't. And eventually, after 2 years, and I said to me, you know what, I'm just getting so homesick. I just want to go back to Scotland. So after, I would say 7 years, I think my husband must have said, right, okay, let's go then, you know. And I used to say, no, it's okay, it's all right, it's fine. But, you know, we had our home there, everything. It's just sold up and came back. My younger son went to playgroup and he was very clingy, would cry for 2-3 hours. And I used to just sit in the school and the head teacher said, would you like to come and help me in the primary one? I said, I would, you know, of course. And that's when I started getting interested in teaching. And I thought, this is somewhere I'm going to go now. You know, when my children are a wee bit more, another couple of years, you know, this is where I'm going and I want to teach. So that's, you know, I brought up children, I set up to a certain age, spoke to them, and I said to my children, our mum's going to go and study. I need to go for, you know, study. I'm going to go to school as well. It was like going to, you know, and I applied for teacher training. And my younger son, he was about 6 at the time, he says, no, you can't go, Mum, you can't do this. And I said, why not? He said, mummies don't go out of the house. I said, what do you mean? I said, well, dads work and mums. He says, but mummies don't. I said, this mummy's going to go and work. I went to teacher training in 1990 and decided that's what I want to do, 4 years Jordan Hill. And I came out of it and I did primary teaching. And I did 2 years probation, it was at the time. I fulfilled that, I was going to apply for jobs. I had 3 months supply teacher in 1994 in a special needs school, ASL schools now, and there was a job opening in a secondary school, ASL, and I applied for that job and I got the job then. So I've been in this post permanent since 1996 to date. I was a classroom teacher all these years, and about, I would say probably 6 years ago, I applied for promoted post. So I'm now the principal teacher in the ASL school. I absolutely love my job. Not many people can say that, I guess. Although you knew you're a Muslim, your parents are from Pakistan, you're here, you go to the mosque, you go to the school, you have your Scottish friends, you have Asian friends, but this is Scotland, I live here, and there were times that you got name calling or chased by pupils, you know, that you're an outsider, but you knew you belonged here. This is the only place I knew as my home. And I would say it was like more teenager, I got older, you start establishing your own identity.